guys, my name is Tom, and I'm one of the co-founders of TABSS Systems Architect, and I want to introduce the TABSS Nexus by um, running one of my most used uh, workflows or runbooks in the Nexus. It's called WOTD, uh, or Word of the Day End-to-End Runbook. Uh, it's basically a standardized process for publishing a word of the day entry from start to finish, as it's called Word of the Day End-to-End Runbook. So it's a checklist-driven workflow that ensures every word I publish is unique, verified, and consistent before it goes live. Think of it as an operating manual for one of my most used daily workflows. And why it matters to me, it's basically integrity driven, and for tabs, integrity is everything. And on top of that, um, it's something that reminds me of my dad because he loves basically words. And fun fact, well, for me, it's a fun fact. My dad memorized the whole dictionary. Well, uh, the time it was the one that he had well, back then. So this is something that I've incorporated or added on the Nexus as a daily thing. What happens is basically the Nexus generates a JSON payload every time or every day at around 12 a.m. Manila time. And all I have to do is just simply get that payload, highlight the runbook, and Notion AI will automatically update the document or the page where the word of the day would be highlighted or be placed on the Nexus. So I actually have a script that I need to read, but ultimately I just like to simply describe it as I see it and I use it because the goal of the Nexus is to reach people who basically aren't experts like me. Uh, I've I have no clear, um, let's say, certificates that would uh, tell anyone that I'm an expert on workflows, runbooks, AI, the most. So I built the Nexus on how I see or how I envision how AI should be used not as a tool, but basically a collaborator that we can have to enhance the human factor because we all know that AI is here. And if it's something that we don't adapt, uh, most businesses would definitely won't be able to keep up with the ones who's already establishing AI in their companies. So the Nexus is one of the ways that I thought of helping out or again enriching and helping develop the human factor so even small businesses and uh, businesses that doesn't have a huge a huge budget could still do the things that most enterprises can. So again, I'll go ahead and run this run book as an example of one of the other one of the workflows or protocols that we have in the TABSS Nexus, which I'll be highlighting on next videos that we'll be releasing. So I hope you enjoy, and I apologize for my voice and that I chose to record the video with this kind of voice, because if I don't, then I don't think I'll be able to do it in the future, since it's going to be on a checklist, buried somewhere, or not on a checklist, or not done anytime. So again, uh, for it, for us to use the runbook, well, what happened was earlier I already executed the runbook for the word for the day, which is concordance. As you can see here on the dashboard that I have, it's already been created. But just to show proof of concept, I'll go ahead and create a new word for the day. Now, what's going to what happened was it automatically generated a new word for the day, which, well, is still generating, just to be exact. I've already configured the template to create a word every time I click on new. So all of this has already been pre-configured, so you don't have to worry about it. Uh, at this point, the template created the word synchronicity, and one of the factors, or one of the things that I want the payload to do, or Notion AI, once I uploaded the JSON payload, is to check the list of words that has been created on the Nexus, and compare it if there will be duplicates. Now, that's one of the things that for me highlights or shows integrity for the system, since again, it self checks the whole database for any duplicates. And if it does have a duplicate, the system would automatically highlight it, notify me real time. And if not, or if it doesn't have a duplicate, it would simply push through with the full implementation of the word end to end. So let's go ahead and check if this word has already been used or has already been highlighted um, on the Nexus before. So right now, as you can see, the properties are blank, since we haven't updated or uploaded the payload to Notion AI. Now, what's going to happen is, like I've said, all I have to do is just simply reference the runbook by highlighting the runbook, and then paste it, pasting the JSON payload that was generated on the template. Now again, the idea is basically have um, the payload generated every 12 o'clock Manila time. Now this can be adjusted depending on your location, but for the sake of uh, proving the concept that it does work, again, I just have to highlight the runbook, paste the actual payload, and then press enter and wait for the magic to happen. Um, right now, Notion AI has triggered one of its gatekeepers, asking if we will be allowing a specific website to be accessed by Notion AI for security, of course, since Notion and TABSS Nexus value security at as one of our topmost priorities. So for words, of course, the websites that basically we use to compare the words that we use on the Nexus. And I'm sure everyone's familiar with Merriam-Webster. So uh, it's a no-brainer to simply allow access to it. So what happens is that Notion AI would be referencing or going to the specific link that was given by the payload, as you can see here with the actual word synchronicity. And as one of the checklists that I mentioned, that for integrity, Notion AI will be checking the whole database of words that I've already used to verify again if the word has been highlighted or used on a different date. So in this case, the word synchronicity, um, synchronicity has been used on a different date. Now, it's been highlighted, failed in a collision with the word that the word that the template came up was used within the last 14 days. And mhm, and it's now asking us to simply uh, either check or use a different word or a different theme. Because other than the word, Notion AI also rotates not just the words again, but the theme for the word. We have different types of themes that we use daily. It could be for emotional anchor. It could be for motivation. Again, there would be several themes that I personally adapted or used for my word of the day. And as it says, it's going to give you a quick, well, it will give you options on what you'll be, that you need to select from. It's either do, a quick or a full rollback for the word, or place it just in draft status, not publish it along with the other words or the other word that's already been published for the day, because the idea is one word per day. So we just don't simply use all the words out there, just in case you'll be able to um, use all the words or use the word of the day concept daily. But some of the things that this concept can be used on is basically, um, it's basic for daily publishing. Again, the payload is generated every day at around 12 a.m. Manila time. So this runbook can be also used for a different template. Let's say your dashboards help when it comes to stats. It could highlight your tasks that hasn't been completed or needs to be completed, percentage versus done, what needs to be done, needs to be archived, needs to be updated. Um, it could also be used for quality assurance. Basically, the payload is a template, and if you put in gates or guardrails within the payload, it would religiously run the whole flow or runbook or workflow end to end without missing any step for completion. So you don't really have to remember the steps. As long as it's within the template and within the JSON payload, it will execute all of those steps end to end. And this is basically the most simplest run book that we have on the Nexus. We do have We have end-to-end workflows that we can use, or we've just used or tested earlier for a whole web pages copy that aligns with the business's brand voice. That's something that I could also highlight later on, or show how it works. But that's going to be a little bit more complicated since, of course, brand voice needs a voice where it's going to be referenced seen from. And in this case, it's referencing from my voice, which is right now not clear of a voice, literally, but uh, later knowing the voice of the Nexus on, or what tabs really stands for me is a voice worth hearing. Um, well, I'm not going to enforce or ask you to believe it, but simply hear us out. Maybe there's something that's worth, uh, you know, implementing or adapting to, since the TABSS Nexus is going to be available for everyone, or anyone, most especially the ones who's starting, who has a vision, who has an idea that might be far off before AI, but um, just to prove that it is possible without any certificates, without any actual um, back, well, let's say businesses or companies saying that, you know, it is something that not possible. If they don't say so, then our voice might be something that's for you. Again, the TABSS Nexus will be available for everyone or anyone who believes in one core principle that we will stand for and we will fight for no matter what, no matter what, and that's integrity. So thank you very much for your time. I know it has been a long demo that didn't really end up properly, but I'll be doing some editing just to show proof of concept. And we do have a lot of workflows, made a lot of promises that we're willing to keep. Uh, Maybe not all of them, but um, maybe the most important ones, especially showing up when it's hard for anyone to show up. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy it and have a good day, guys.